们敬礼传承祖师，敬礼了明和尚，敬礼萨迦正空上师，敬礼16世大宝法王卡玛巴，敬礼图登大吉上师，我们敬礼坛城三宝，敬礼今天同修的本尊大准提佛母，师母，各位上师、教授师，还有丹真嘎措法师、讲师、助教、堂主以及各位同门，还有网络上的同门，今天我们仪会的贵宾是中华民国驻瑞典兼挪威代表廖东洲大使夫人鸠蒂师姐，台北市议员切梅沙代表切慧玲师姐，庄俊耀医师，中国深圳科通集团副总裁李鸿辉师兄，宾州杰弗森医学院附属医院李传习讲师，大家晚安，大家好。你好，大家好。我们今天主要是修准提佛母本尊法，准提佛母本尊法。那么准提佛母，我们也知道他的这个观想，准提尊的观想，他手中最主要的手印就是准提印，这个就是准提印，又叫总持印，准提印也叫总持印。那么它有手印，那么也有它的准提佛母的像，还有它的咒语 ，Om 折利准理 ，Om 折利准理，准提所哈。那有它的咒语，有它的法相，另外还有它的手印，就能够构成一个准提佛母的修行的方法。那么准提佛母呢，经常有人来问他的本尊，他的本尊是什么？那我就讲准提佛母。他说。
And I would say Chundi, Buddha Mother.
我喜欢观世音菩萨。
And sometimes she said, I like Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Chenrezig, but why my Yidam is Mahachundi Buddha Mother? So I would say that if you like Guan Yin Bodhisattva, then you should practice Guan Yin. Then why did you ask me? But we all know that Jundi Buddha Mother has deep affinity with Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. Do you know the relative or the retinue of Mahachundi Buddha Mother? If you know, please raise your hand. Nobody. Many people don't dare to look at Grandmaster. You know, the retinue of Mahachundi Buddha Mother is the 8 great bodhisattvas. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, and Viskambi Bodhisattva. So her retinue are the 8 great bodhisattvas. So Chundi Buddha Mother is really great. How come everybody is just practicing Guan Yin, but only I practice Mahachundi? But Mahachundi's retinue are the 8 great bodhisattvas. So just think about it, how powerful she is. And her main mantra is Om Zeli Zeli Junti Soha. And each of this character has great meaning. Om is the general beginning of mantras in Tibet, Tibetan Tantrayana. It's very easy to distinguish. The mantra starting with Namo belongs to Japanese Tantrayana. Mantras starting with Om typically belong to Tibetan Tantrayana. And what does Om mean? Someone explained that Om means Tao or the way. That's the greatest, right? Om means universe, the whole universe. And in Hinduism, this character Om means Brahma. And what is Brahma? Which is like Sanskrit. So Brahma means the Brahma heaven or the creator. So in Hinduism, that belongs to Brahma. I have said it before that the lifespan of Brahma is like 100. So 100 years. And 1 year, his 1 year equals to the lifespan of the earth from birth to death. Like the earth at the start, the creation of the earth to the extinguishment of the earth. That's the same as 1 year of the Brahma. But Brahma lives to be 100 years. So just imagine how long his life is. Extremely long. So many mantras start with Om, which means universe. So that's what the Om of Mahachundi means. It represents that everything is empty. This has extremely profound meaning. And Ze means that all Dharma is non-arising and non-ceasing. It's similar to the first character. And Zili means that all the Dharma appearances are not attainable. These are all very deep and profound. It's very difficult to explain. In the Heart Sutra, it is mentioned that because everything is unattainable, therefore Bodhisattva. Once you gain enlightenment, you would comprehend what is unattainable. Everything is unattainable. So for the presidential election in Taiwan, of course for the mainland Chinese, they call it the national leaders of Taiwan. They don't call him president. And I told him this statement, because it is unattainable, therefore Bodhisattva. Don't think that if you become the president in the future, that you think that you have attained something. No, because ultimately it is unattainable, because it is only for a period of 4 years. At the end of 4 years, after climbing and climbing and climbing to the top, then you would fall down. So at the end of the 4-year period, or let's just say at most 8 years, so say if you were elected again, still after 8 years you would fall down again. So nothing to be attained, right? What is it that you have gained? Like all of us, when you were born, you thought you get this and you gain that and you attain that. But I have said this. There was a legislator that told me the person is in heaven, but his money is in the bank. His wife is at somebody else's chest, and his wealth is with his siblings. So it's the same, even if you're the highest. But as long as you have gone to heaven, that whatever you have on earth is gone. That means it is unattainable. But I told that legislator, it's good enough that if the person is in heaven, then don't worry about the rest. You should be content. So today, we are practicing Buddhism primarily is to comprehend that everything is unattainable. If you can comprehend this, then you would be at ease and at peace. You're calm and easy in living your life, very stable and at ease in living your life. What is good? What is bad? Actually, they don't exist. But you have to cultivate spiritually. And in spiritual cultivation, you have to do good, not to do bad. Create good karma, not bad karma. The thing that can make you be liberated to go to the Pure Land, that is considered good. Everything that you do, you have to ponder, can this give me liberation and make me go to the pure Buddha land? Or moreover, to let you attain bodhisattvahood, then that would be good. But anything that cannot make you achieve that, then that would be considered as bad. So that's how you distinguish good and bad. Things that can make you be liberated, that's good. If it cannot make you free or liberated, then that would be bad. So in the future, you always have to consider this. So many things are like this, if you think about it. What is it that you have gained? Nothing. The age of a house is longer than our age. There are some houses that have been 100 years or 200 years. They are longer than our lifespan. Look at that incense burner at the center, outside the main door of this temple, Seattle Temple. How long will it last? It would be longer than each of our age. Our lifespan is short. When your four elements dissipate, the earth, water, fire, and air, then you would know that nothing is attainable. Although we say that in the process of spiritual cultivation, you have to have the resources for merits and virtues. The resources for merits and good fortunes is for the body, so that you can cultivate spiritually. And the resources of virtues are intangible, and that belongs to the heavenly realms. So in the beginning, you need to practice your merits and your virtues, so that in your life you would have good affinity, that you would be able to meet the good and true Guru in order to have attainments in your spiritual cultivation. I personally feel that nothing is attainable, so it's fine. Klemasa has something very priceless called the rubellite, and it's 94 carats given by a disciple. It's priceless. It's as much as like a house. But I don't find it to be important. I brought this rubellite or tourmaline from Taiwan to the States. And if it's being recognized by the custom as the true jewels, then I would just give it to them. That's the price of a house. You know, my mind is not on this rubellite. I can just give it away. If they saw it, they would get it. But if they didn't see it, then I'll bring it home. I was hesitating for a little bit before bringing it back because it's an expensive stuff. If you know it, then you know it's expensive. Before we bring it back, I asked many people, my attendants, they all know. But the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Golden Mother told me, it's no problem, you can bring it home. And the custom check the luggages, and then when they got to the baggage where I put the rubellite, and I even placed it in front of him. Go ahead and check. Do you want to open it? And he said no. He had checked 3 of the luggages, and then he skipped the last bag. So Golden Mother was really incredible, was very accurate. And I asked the custom officer, do you want to open and take a look? And he said, no need, go ahead. That's how it was. So I thought, if you found it, then you can have it. I don't need to have it. So in my heart, there's nothing. I have lived very happily. There's nothing else I want. So therefore, nothing is attainable. And Zhu means non-abiding. What is this non-abiding? When your mind is not on it, that means it's non-abiding. If you have no mind, that's non-abiding. That's the fundamentals of meditation. So in meditation, where are you? There is no you. So all meditation with forms or tangible meditation, it's based on the form. But the real, the true meditation is non-abiding. When we practice meditation, you focus on the tip of your nose, as it's often written in the Kung Fu novels. And the eyes watch the nose, and the nose watch the mind or the heart. Then that's still abiding, right? Or when you place your mind on the mantra, that's with the meditation with sound. That's also called samadhi, with When you have no more mind, then that would be non-abiding. This is all very deep and profound. The mantra Om Zuli Juli Junti Soha. Non-abiding. And the next is immaculate. No contaminants at all. Immaculate. And non-equal enlightenment. What is the equal enlightenment or awaiting enlightenment? It's the highest of the bodhisattvahood on the 10th ground of bodhisattvahood. It's called awaiting realization. But awaiting realization, there is still realization. You need to reach to the non-realization. No more sensation. That's also the highest one. And you're free of grasping and abandoning. Not getting anything or not letting go of anything. That's Thi and Soha. It's inexpressible. Bodhidharma was asked to give Dharma teaching, and then he took the Dharma throne and he said, okay, this is the Dharma teaching, and he tapped once, he didn't say anything, and he tapped again, that's the end, and then he walked down. That is the teaching with no words, no language. Soha, perfect. So the mantra of Jundi Buddha Mother and the Vajrasattva 100-syllable mantra can transform everything in the human world or in the sky to manifest its empty nature. And Mahajundi's mantra, although it's short, it has the same function and greatness as the 100-syllable mantra. It has such phenomena. So this deity I highly admire. In Taiwanese, with utmost reverence, I take refuge in the Susiddhi with my head bowed. I pay homage to the 7 Kadis. I praise Mahajundi. So when Grandmaster tells you that your yidam is Mahajundi Buddha Mother, and you replied, I like Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Well, if you like Avalokitesvara, then why did you ask? Then you should just practice Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Why did you ask me? Because if you asked me, then I would tell you to practice Mahajundi Buddha Mother. But actually, the retinue of family of Mahajundi Buddha Mother are the 8 great bodhisattvas, because she's not only in the awaiting for realization. Jundi Buddha Mother is the same thing as the Buddha. That's why we call her Buddha Mother. There's the name Buddha there. There's Buddha in her name. So now I would like to make you understand the greatness of Mahajundi Buddha Mother. Today, let's continue talking about Lamde. Breaches or violation divided into two. Samaya of violating the suffering for arising to reincarnation. The Samaya upheld during the initial base empowerment and the breaches to the 50 Guru stanzas, etc. That are the 14 root downfalls. There's 14 root downfalls of Tantrayana. Who has it and who memorizes it? There's the book. Did you get it? Let me read it. The first one is disrespect toward the root guru. Second, and you don't keep the precepts of the Mahayana and Tantrayana Buddhism. Third, disputes among the Vajra brothers and sisters, or having animosities toward them. Fourth, abandoning compassion towards sentient beings. So, as spiritual cultivator, we have to have compassionate mind. And envious or jealous toward other people's happiness. And fifth, abandoning bodhicitta. You forget about your own bodhicitta because you found it to be too difficult. And slandering sutras, that's the sixth. And seventh, revealing secrets to those who are unworthy. If they don't have any faith or not enough spiritual root and you transmit the Tantra, that's not right. So, mistreating one's own body. So the Vajra master is like a Buddha. So the disciples of the Vajra master are like Dharma princes. So if you harm them, it's breaching the precepts. So you get attached to existence and not trying to comprehend emptiness. And you're keeping company with people who have breached the precepts. And you regard that your own Dharma is the highest and you forgot the true meaning of Tantrayana. And you don't give a Dharma teaching to disciples with good spiritual roots. So the sadhana is not complete and is not correct. And number 14 is denigrating woman. It's one of the view of equality. There are 14 precepts altogether. Because in the beginning, after taking refuge, you have to abide by these 14 root downfalls, the precepts to prevent the 14 root downfalls. When the Buddha is about to enter parinirvana, about to leave the world, the disciples requested teaching from him. After the Buddha leaves the world, who would be our teacher? And the Buddha replied, your precepts would be your teacher. So the precepts, this is extremely important. It's the same for Samaya. So the 14 root downfalls should be avoided. It's very easy to breach these precepts. Then what should you do? Then Om Zili Zili Junti Soha. Or by chanting the 100-syllable mantra, chanting Jundi Hat mantra, you can eradicate your transgressions and sins. Because all the good karma, bad karma, all kinds of karma are returned to the emptiness. This is extremely important. And rebirth. So those who are ignorant would breach these precepts and would be reborn in the 6 rebirth realms. The heavenly realm, Asura, the human realm, the animals, hell, and hungry ghosts. And they would be always in the cycle. They cannot leave the rebirth cycle. It cannot be liberated. And so when you practice until you feel extremely stable and robust, that's because of the earth element. Grandmaster often practices and feels that I feel very strong and robust. I feel like I'm a mountain, so that's the robustness. All of a sudden, you become like a mountain, this high, as tall as Mount Sumeru. Then you stop at this robustness, then you don't move forward. So that's the stalling in this kind of feeling. You would feel it, that you become like a mountain. Or all of a sudden you feel like you become extremely small. And all of a sudden, as huge as Mount Sumeru, all of a sudden as small as an ant. So suddenly big, suddenly small, you can transform. And that transformation or changes, that's due to the function of water inside your body. So in your meditation, all of a sudden you go to the Pure Land. All of a sudden Like now, you're meditating in America, and all of a sudden you go to Taiwan. Or you travel around the 4 great mountains in China. That's due to the function of the wind element. And you found this to be extremely pleasurable, that in meditation you can travel the 4 great mountains or wherever you want, and then you stay in that realm and you don't move forward, you don't progress. Or you gain some joy or great bliss, and then you stay there. Then you don't move forward. Because when in meditation, the air or the qi moves all over your body and you feel extremely blissful. Or in meditation, the inner fire moves inside the channels, or light drops moves inside the channels, and you would feel, like what I said last year, very tingling and numb and extremely blissful, extremely pleasurable. It's beyond words, beyond description. And then you get attached to this kind of bliss. You don't want to let it go. Then that would be violating walking the path, lengthy delay or stalling in walking the path. So the violation to any of the 19 levels of Samaya, this violation will cause delay in the spiritual path. Say if one is supposed to have attainment in the first half of one's life, it will be delayed to the last half instead. Or if one is supposed to have attainment in the last half, it will happen at death instead. So this happens in Tantrayana. So let me share a secret. The bliss in the human realm is a small bliss. And what is this small bliss? What is this small bliss in the human world? Let me tell you. I am reluctant to say it, but I have to, because if I don't say it, you don't know what is small bliss of the human realm and what is the great bliss. So the small bliss is orgasm. But what is great bliss? That when you continually feel the orgasm, then that would be great bliss. Orgasm. So who would be able to feel that orgasm at all time? So when I say Summa Laku, so that tingling and blissfulness is beyond words. The short-term Summa Laku is orgasm, and the long-term Summa Laku is called great bliss. That long-term blissfulness. It's when the qi moves inside the channels during meditation, and the friction of the qi against the channels generate bliss. and the friction of the inner fire inside the channels generate bliss, and the light drops moves inside the channels and create friction that generate bliss. And this is the great bliss in meditation. But if you dwell on it and you are reluctant to let it go, then you're violating the samaya. Now you understand? Should be very clear. Why, in your spiritual cultivation, when you have the attainment of the wind, you can fly. You can levitate. You can travel in the sky. When you have true attainment, according to what the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas told me, when all the deities enter into your body, by the Dharma power of all deities, they can levitate your whole physical body. This is called the alchemy of the five emptiness of emptiness. So Milarepa had mastered this kind of alchemy. You know, the weight of our body cannot being held down by the gravity, but how can you levitate? But then the body will not be affected by the gravity, and why is that? Because many deities enter into your body and they have that power to lift or to levitate your body up to the air. That's based on what I know, based on what the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas told me. Until one day when your body can levitate, that means all the deities enter into your body, then you can float or you can levitate. And that's the concept on how to levitate. So there are two kinds of breaches of samaya. One is you would be in the rebirth cycle, and second is then you would stall in your spiritual cultivation because you have to truly master the non-attainable, the unattainability. Then only when you gain true understanding of the ultimate truth, and that would be the true attainment. That's very profound. It's the non-realization. However, inside samadhi, there is one thing that is called, it's not like poison, is that you can emit a very brilliant light, a self-generating radiance, a bright light. So you reach such a state that like a self or unique or soul radiance, only in that state then you have a true attainment. So that's based on what I know. So please don't breach these samayas, so that to avoid being in the rebirth cycle or to always stalling or delay in your spiritual cultivation. Last week I have said that women are the most troublesome animal on earth. However, the men are the animals who love troubles. So those are also a kind of obstructions. This is the joke I have told in Hong Kong. A friend got a Japanese wife and gave her a Chinese name. But he didn't want to tell his friends her Japanese name. And after friends kept asking, he reluctantly said that his wife's Japanese name is not wearing underwear, but it's a different Chinese characters like plum, river, Gucci, Umegawa Gucci. So when everybody knows his wife's name, he changed it to wearing underwear. This is joke. So like the dragon robe and the Lama robe that Grandmaster is wearing is called the dignity of the body. But if I don't wear anything, what is the dignity of the body, or body dignity? Are the hair, the nails, they're all considered to be body dignity, and the skin too. They're all considered to be, and also the Sariras that were born, that found during cremations, are also called body dignity. And a couple just argued, and the husband was comforting the wife. Let me get you a toast. And the wife said, no. Let's go to the movies. And the wife said, no. Everything is no. We've been married for so long, and I didn't know what shortcomings I have. Can you tell me some example? And the wife replied, no. But this is a play of word in Chinese. Like, no, I will not say it. But it sounded like non-rising or impulse. Let me tell you, if you practice the Qi channel and light drops for man. I'm talking about the man. Even when you live to be 80s or 90s, you can rise everywhere you go. Only when you have no more qi, then you cannot rise it. That your white body and red body inside your body are really full. And of course, Grandmaster is the non-leaking yogi. And for years, always like that. Your red body and white body are abundant. And you gain this through the practice of qi channel and light drops. And there's another joke. Like a manager or a president is interviewing for his secretary. And the candidate said, I graduated from Taiwan University, and the other one from Tsinghua University, and the other one from Tsinghua, and the other one is from Beijing University, National University, Tsinghua University, Taiwan University. And all of a sudden, there's a woman that said that I graduated from Boston University. And then the president said, okay, then I'll hire you. And then asked that woman to go to his private office and then shut the curtains and said, okay, since Boston University in Chinese sounded like big-chested, show it to me, show them to me. And she said, but I graduated from Boston University. So in our tantric practice, it's the same. You have to be clearly understand this path. There are 5 levels in our Buddhist practice. First is you have to practice the path of accumulation, is to accumulate your merits, good fortune, and virtues. This is necessary. So merits and virtues, once you have enough of this, then you would meet the true guru. Second, you have to practice the basics, the fundamental path. In tantric practices, you have to build the foundation. You have to complete all the fundamental practices. And due to these fundamental practices, on the 3rd level, you would comprehend what empty nature is. Once you understand or you comprehend the empty nature, then you have seen the path. You have realization, you have seen the path, and you have gained enlightenment. Then after the enlightenment, you want to start the practice. So this is the path of practice. And you practice until ultimately you reach the ultimate. You have attained the ultimate. So these are like 5 steps in spiritual cultivation. Path of accumulation, fundamental, the path of realization, the path of practice, and the ultimate path. So this was taught by Sakyamuni Buddha, and then it was outlined and explained by the lineage gurus that spiritual cultivation, you have to go through these 5 levels. So there are steps in this. There are also fake tantric practices. There are fake ones. Please don't know them, don't learn them. Because in many things, when they are the true ones, they are also the fake ones or the false ones. This joke is not so good. When you can't handle lots of things, don't panic. And you should just wait for a period of time. Why? Because you don't remember about it anymore. Actually, for Grandmaster, after practicing for so long, my own feelings about it is that I take everything very lightly. It's fine whether I have it or not. It's fine either way. However, anything I can help, then I would do my best. But if I really cannot, then I will not worry about it. I will not carry lots of things inside my mind. Because if you do that, then you're tormenting yourself. You should just empty all of your mind. Then you would sleep really well. Then you have no worries, no afflictions. Things that are supposed to be yours will be yours. If they are not supposed to be yours, don't force yourself on it. It's a very simple principle. Just be natural. You know, in our lives, just be natural. Don't be so forceful. And you don't want to force other people either. No, I never force anyone. Everything is natural. Everyone is natural. Between people, it's all very natural. It's due to affinity. When the affinity is here, it's natural. When the affinity is gone, it's also natural. And you just live your days of spiritual cultivation at ease and at peace. Don't force anything. Even if you gain anything, at the end, it is not yours. It is not attained. Even when I help people, I don't know what else to say. When I can't figure it out, you just wait. Then you think about it in the future, and then by that time you'll forget what to think. So how do you feel about the Dharma teaching today? Do you have any comment? One very important thing, never resent and hate anybody. Because when you have that resentment inside you, then you're already tormenting yourself. Please don't hate anybody. Oh, I really despise you. I don't want to see you. If I see you, then I would... and now that I see you, I might as well avoid you. When you do that, you're already miserable. Please never resent or never hate anybody. As soon as you hate someone, when there's hatred inside you, then you're already tormenting yourself. Therefore, the Buddha taught us so hate and love, love and hate are actually equal. You'd rather like than dislike, because it is very miserable. So, when you have nothing on your mind, in order to meditate, there are two important principles. One is nothing on your mind. The other one is nothing bothers you. That you don't attach to anything. You don't, and just let it be at ease and calm. Then you can enter into meditation, then you can enter into samadhi. But if you have something on your mind, it's impossible for you to enter into samadhi. So don't let your mind dwell on anything, then you can enter into samadhi. In any Dhamma practice, ultimately, you have to enter into samadhi. You enter into samadhi. There is a sutra called the Sutra of Entering into Samadhi. If you have read it, please raise your hand. Nobody has ever read it? The Sutra of Entering Samadhi. Let me tell you. I combine or merge the Sutra of Entering Samadhi into that book, Zen Zen to Zen. In this book, it talks about how to enter into samadhi.